Hi, this is a 2007 Gibson Les Paul Studio. I think these ones from this time, I think had chambered bodies, because this is pretty lightweight, this one. I mean, it's not the lightest guitar I've ever played, but it's certainly much lighter than you expect it to be because it's a Les Paul, so I think it probably is chambered. And this one was a trade-in that I got for a guitar that I was selling of mine, and I expected to just sell this straight away because I'm not really into Les Pauls. So I thought, yeah, this will just go straight away. And it's really surprised me, this guitar. I keep picking it up and playing it, and it's meant to be just on display for sale, and I keep grabbing it and playing it. It's got the thing, the mysterious thing that some guitars have, that you just want to pick it up and play it. Every time you see it, you just grab it and play it. And this has really got that. I wouldn't say I particularly like the look of it or the finish. I think it looks quite nice, but there's just something about it that I just want to pick it up and play it. So it started me thinking, should I really perhaps keep this or get something similar to this to use? I've been playing PRS mainly for the last few years, but before that, my go-to guitar that I compared everything else to was a Gibson 335, which I've had for years and years and years. And that, I think this has made me realise, I think that 335 kind of neck and the sort of Gibson feel is perhaps what I'm most at home with. So I'm going to compare this to some other guitars today on camera. I'm just going to plug it in, compare it to my PRS DGT, which is the main guitar I use at the moment. And I'm going to compare it to a Singlecut PRS, which I've got for sale at the moment, which is a lovely guitar and probably the closest thing to this that I've got here. And I might compare it to some other things perhaps as well, but mainly those two. And I just want to hear how it comes out and how it sort of fares against those. I'd say this shouldn't sound as good as that DGT, and it shouldn't play as well, but I think it probably does. So I'm going to give my impressions of what they're all like to play. I've set them all up how I like it with a low action. They're all going to be easy to play, but I'll tell you what my impression is of each one and how they compare. And if you've got any of these guitars, a DGT, a Singlecut PRS, that's a satin one from 2007, I think, so same age as this, or a Studio Les Paul, let me know what you think. I mean, as an aside about these Studios, the 90s ones are meant to be the ones to get. That's what I've read. Although I think they are pretty heavy, some of them. But they're meant to be the best ones with the ebony fretboard and everything. But this is so good. I don't know. I don't know how much better a 90s one would be than this. Maybe I could get a hold of one and compare. Anyway, let me know what you think. Just something else to mention. The Singlecut, which is this guitar, PRS, 2007 satin tremolo model. It's a great guitar, this. This and the DGT, both of those got coil tap pickups. The Les Paul Studio doesn't have that. So for the purpose of the video and the comparison, I'm not going to coil tap either of these two guitars. I'm just going to be using the full humbucker sounds on all three. Right, so just a quick sound test really. They're very different. They're more different than I thought they would be. There's something about the Les Paul, as I said at the beginning, that just makes you want to pick it up and play it. It's definitely the least, I suppose the least kind of refined of the three. The DGT definitely wins that in terms of how expensive a guitar it feels, how expensive a guitar it is, but it just feels perfect, the DGT. This one I haven't played for a while because this one's up for sale, but I've forgotten how good this sounds. This is a really good guitar, this one. I prefer the neck on the DGT, and I think I prefer the neck on the Gibson as well to this, slightly. There's not a lot in it. I think the DGT has been set up by me, but it's been set up better than this one, and I think I can sort of play better on the DGT than this, slightly. But the Gibson kind of lived up to the expectations with this. I don't think it does sound as good as the other two. Tell me what you think. I'm going to listen back to that in a minute and compare. But there's something just really nice about this to play. I would say the playability on this one, and I've barely adjusted anything on it since I got it, but the playability is definitely on a par with the DGT. And this is a much cheaper guitar than that PRS. But the playability of this is great. And I must admit, I do quite like the idea of having something a bit cheaper. So just because I'm less worried about it. So maybe I should keep this, or maybe I should get something else like this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Or maybe I'll just keep the DGT. But this one surprised me. This is a good guitar. And this, if I was just going to keep one of these three and get rid of the others, perhaps this would be the best one to keep, because I love the look of it. I much prefer the look of this to either of the others. That's not that important, but playability wise, it's my least favourite of the three. Sound wise, for rock, this is the best of the three, I would say. For sort of cleaner sounds, I think the DGT wins. But for sort of the bluesy kind of stuff that I do a lot, I think the Les Paul does sound pretty good. So yeah, we shall see. What will I end up doing? I didn't think that DGT would be going anywhere ever, but yeah, maybe this has sort of made me rethink a little bit. This is a very good guitar, 2007 Les Paul Studio. Pretty just plain bog standard. Weight wise, they're very similar, all three. I think, I haven't weighed this one yet, but I think it's probably a tiny bit heavier than the other two. The DGT is probably the lightest, followed by this, but there's hardly anything in it. None of them are too heavy to sort of pick up and want to play. And the weights are quite a big thing for me. I've made other videos on that, and I'm quite happy with the weight of all three of these. So yeah, have you got any of these guitars? Or, you know, have you got one of those early 90s or mid 90s Les Paul Studios? Are they really as good as everyone says? Please let me know in the comments. Okay, thanks for watching. Oh, and the other thing that I did briefly say something about earlier is the two PRS guitars have both got the coil tap. So if you want one guitar that's going to do a lot of different things, then the Les Paul's not as good as the other two, definitely. This has got 3 sounds. These others have got 6, and they're very usable. The DGT in particular is brilliant on coil taps, and this is pretty good as well. And they've also both got tremolo. PRS tremolos are brilliant. So if I needed one guitar to do as much as possible, then I'd probably still keep the DGT. But maybe, you know, I've got other guitars. Maybe I don't need one guitar to do everything. Let me know what you think about that as well. Thanks. Just switched my camera off and went to put these guitars back where they live, and the ones for sale are hanging on the wall, and the other two went back where they go. This one I went to hang it up, and then I thought I'll just have a quick play on it, and I just started playing on it. So I thought I'd tell you that, because that's a big thing. Certain guitars want to be played. This wants to be played. So yeah, I might possibly end up keeping this one.